All right, Mr. Teleferro TV, how's everybody doing out there? I want to give you guys an update. The NBA trade deadline is a couple weeks out, so we want to get into some teams that we believe will be in the mix, in the running, to be either buyers or sellers come NBA free agency. Now, all these teams are in the mix for different reasons, right? Everybody has their own vendetta of why they want to get involved in the race. So I hope you can see all these teams. There's Sacramento right behind me if you can't see that one. Let's go through these 7 teams who might be interested in making moves come deadline and why they're going to be interested real quickly here. Sacramento. I think it's quite obvious why Sacramento will want to be in the running to make some moves. They got some contracts that they might want to get rid of, a Shumpert. They got some expiring deals. They might be able to take on a deal. That might be the Kings' only way to sneak and get a good player. Or they could be looking at it at a different approach and they just might want to move on from a guy like Zach Randolph or somebody like that and just move on a bad contract. It looks like they got their backcourt of the future in Fox and Hill. They could be just trying to tank. They could be just willing to get rid of as many good players as possible. Try to get in that lottery again. And you already got Buddy Hill. You got Fox. You got Bagley. I mean, if you go add Zion Williamson to that mix or heck, any of those top guys in the draft, at some point that team's going to be good. So if you're Sacramento, I think it's obvious. You just want to get in the mix somehow, some way, and try to improve your lottery chance. Houston. Y'all know why Houston's going to be a team that's going to be looking to make a move. They just acquired Kenneth Faried. They're going to be looking to get, to me, a backup point guard. I know a lot of people are saying that Austin Rivers is their backup point guard. I don't trust Austin Rivers either. I think you could use another backup point guard behind Chris Paul, a starting caliber point guard. Reason being, you don't want to have what happened last year happen again to you this year. If Chris Paul were to go down, you want to at least have a point guard that's good enough to put some pressure on a Steph Curry or a Klay Thompson in the playoffs and hopefully be enough to go alongside James Harden in that backcourt. So if you lose Chris Paul to injury, you can still compete and win a game in the playoffs, because we saw last year, James Harden can't do it by himself. He just gets tired doing entirely too much. The Pelicans are interesting. They're not looking to get in the lottery. They win too many games for that. They're actually looking to acquire a player of substance. The Pelicans in the next calendar year have to go get a star. All right, they're going to shoot their shot at a guy like Jabari Parker, a guy who has star potential but stays injured, in hopes to kind of revitalize his career. It didn't work out in Chicago. They tried to revitalize his career. They're going to be shooting for guys like that. Guys that have star potential, were supposed to be really good coming out of college, but just didn't pan out yet. They're going to try to take their chances. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pelicans get in the running for a Derrick Rose, if Minnesota's not willing to pay him. Watch out for the Pelicans. They know they got like a year and a half to get a star in there with Anthony Davis, or he's gone. It's just that simple. So they'll be in the running. The Clippers situation is kind of similar to the Pelicans. Here's what the Clippers want to do. They want to get as good as possible, right? They want to show Kawhi Leonard we're good. So they want to get to the playoffs and at least compete and potentially win one round. They know what they're up against. The Toronto Raptors are likely to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They need to show Kawhi, listen, if you leave Toronto and join us, we're going to be right back in the same spot you were. We can get to the conference finals next year if you join our group. So they're looking to be as good as possible. They got a lot of guys who are around the same level. You kind of want to package some of those pieces and see what you can get out there on the market. Go get you a B caliber player, right? And then hopefully that entices Kawhi, who is interested in joining the Clippers. He still wants to be on the West Coast. Last time I heard, hopefully that puts it over the top for them, and you can kind of convince Kawhi with a simple, yo, you come join us. You're the star, but we got pieces around you. The Orlando Magic, the Magic are always in the mix of everything. Here's the situation. Vucevic is a free agent this summer. It doesn't look like they're going to pay him. He's a guy that can get you a double-double every night. And if I were Orlando, I would try to move on from him or Aaron Gordon. It looks like they're going to move on from one of these guys at the deadline. They'll be a seller at the deadline. They're not taking on any big-time contracts. They're trying to tank. They need a guy in Orlando, a real guy. If it ain't Mo Bamba, they need a guy. All right, they need a guy. They've missed in pretty much every draft every year. Brooklyn's in the running to make a quick little run at a playoff spot here. So Brooklyn, for the first time in a long time, they actually might be buyers at the trade deadline. They're not trying to do anything crazy, but if they continue to win, their record is going to be too good to be sellers. They're 6th in the East right now. They're one of the surprise teams in the NBA. So they might be buyers just to try to get better and see what's out there on the market, because right now Brooklyn ain't getting a good pick. They're too good. I don't know if that ownership group wanted them to be this damn good right now. They're winning too many damn games. So they might force themselves into being a buyer. And the last buyer will be the Philadelphia 76ers. They're looking for shooting. They're looking for anything that can help space the court and help this rotation out, because right now Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Jimmy Butler, when they're on the court together, they're just not figuring it out right now. And JJ Redick is a great floor spacer, but you're going to need more. All right, Philly was doing really good last year because of floor spacing, and they lost a couple of their shooters this summer, and they're looking to get a couple back at the trade deadline. So look for Philly to be looking for shooting. They really want 3-and-D guys like a Robert Covington, who they gave up to get Jimmy Butler. So they'll be buyers at the deadline as well. They're going all in this year. They want to make it to at least the Eastern Conference Finals before they give Jimmy Butler a Supermax extension this summer. You're going to need a couple more sellers in this bunch, though. We talked about a lot of buyers. You're probably going to need a couple, 2-3 more teams to be sellers. So we're expecting a few more teams to be involved in this mix. But these are the 7 teams we know for sure are going to be active, at least on the phone, before the NBA trade deadline. I'm ready. I'm excited. One of my favorite times of the year. I hope you are too. I'm out.
I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids.
You are now tuned in.
Yeah, we locked in right now, Mr.
Telefera. Mr. Telefera.
Mr. Telefera.
Mr. Telefera. Shout out to Mr. Telefera.
You're watching Mr. Telefera TV.
Mr. Telefera TV. Here with the Triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.